Meanwhile, at the Bayside Diner in the hallway, Jennifer's writing down her schedule. And as she has another flashback of her and Julian making love. And as the flashback ends, why can't I stop thinking about this? And as Eddie came to where Jennifer is, and she saw him. It was really busy today. Yeah, it was. That's the way I like it. Meanwhile, in the front area, Katie came in and went to the bar stool area where Jan is. And Jan turned and saw Katie there. Katie, is it? Yeah. Looks like it's been busy. Yeah, we had a Japanese tour bus here an hour ago. So I had to call Emily and Kyle. And also, my husband and I had to take over, but it's been calm. It's good money. Oh, I know. So, what can I get for you? 2 chicken salad platters to go. And as Katie handed Jan her debit card, and as Katie went and placed the order on the lower POS, and slide Katie's debit card, and the receipt print out, and as Jan came back to where Katie is and gave her her credit card along with the receipts, and as Katie went and signed her one of her receipts. Meanwhile, Emily came to Jesse's booth with her coffee pot. Can I top you off? Sure. Actually, I need to talk to you. And as Jesse see Kyle cleaning his section on the other side. Sure. I guess I got some time. And as Emily went and sat down at Jesse's booth and faced him. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in Andrew's room, Joseph's by Andrew's bedside while Andrew's still in a coma. And as Patrick came in, and Joseph saw, and as Patrick closed the door, and went to where Joseph is. Dude, you look like you haven't slept in days. Let Olivia and I take over. I almost forgot to tell you. Olivia and I are back together. Meanwhile, at the Good Charm Manor in Richard's room, Casey and Richard are making out. Till they pull back. Didn't I mention how sexy it is to have a man like you protecting me? Well, remind me more and I'll do it. By the way, you okay? You seem quiet on the way here. And as Rich has another flashback of him and Frank talking. You think I'm scared of you? Honestly, you should be. All you do is destroy lives. Just for the love of it. If only you knew what I have. Then you should know there may be a surprise waiting for you in the end. And it's a flashback in with Richard looking at Casey. I have a lot to think about. Also, the nerve of Vanessa accusing us when we had nothing to do with Frank's death. Meanwhile, at the Preston Rich Manor in the living room, Paul came in and went and poured himself a cup of brandy. Just as Chad came in and Paul saw, and as Paul poured another one, and went and gave one to Chad. I think we should confront them. They'll just lie about it, especially Casey's family. Vanessa had to run them earlier. How'd they react? They were very annoyed. Sounds a bit suspicious if you ask me. Oh, I know, which is why I'm planning to enter myself into their lives. Meanwhile, on the Los Angeles pier, Leo's waiting till he see Janet, who came to where he is. And he saw her. Who the hell are you? I could ask you that. Now relax, you two. And as Lena came to where they are, and they saw her. I gotta say, good luck on the process you two have made. Now, for the next task. Meanwhile, outside the LAPD station in downtown Los Angeles in the parking lot in Jordan's car, noticeably Jordan and Karen Susan sitting while they're talking. Those two have no idea of what hell awaits them. Once Karen, Tay, and Mildred taken care of, I'm going at the Brown. In fact, I may have the perfect person. Speaking of which, I need to handle Joseph before he ruins everything, and I'm gonna need Janet's help on that. Meanwhile, in the holding cell, Taya, the real Karen, and Mildred are sitting on the bench. This is ridiculous. Really? Impersonation? Seems our counterparts are more smarter than we give them credit for. That's why we need to end this madness once we get out of here. I'm afraid that's not gonna happen, and as Claire came to where they are, and they saw and got up and went to where Claire is. Come on, Claire. Surely you don't see that these two are imposters, or do you now? Meanwhile, at the Bayside Diner in the hallway, Eddie and Jennifer are talking. You know, for what it's worth, you're actually not a bad person. Same here. Then we're on the same page. How about you get to know me more? You mean, you and I go on a date together? Well, after you told me what happened in your family and I told you what happened in my family, so I see. And as Kitty headed to her back and saw Eddie and Jennifer talking. So, is it a yes as in tomorrow night as on our first date, right? Unaware that Katie heard the conversation and is very uneasy. So Jen came to where Katie is. Katie? And as Katie turned and saw Jen there. What are you doing? Meanwhile, in Jesse's booth, Jesse and Emily are talking. What do you want to talk about? Your husband, Kyle? What about him? Just be careful, okay? Alright, what's going on? Lately, you and Lauren trying to talk negative about Kyle when in fact he's a good person. I know he is, Emily, but lately, he's been kind of different. Can you blame him? I mean, your wife accused him of cheating on me when we both know that's not the case. All I'm saying is just be careful. You're talking about the man I love so much, who happens to be the father of my son and daughter. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry. Perhaps you need to fix your own marriage before you criticize someone else. Meanwhile, Kyle heard the conversation between Jesse and Emily as he finished cleaning the section. And as Jared came to where Kyle is, and Kyle saw. Kyle, I didn't know you work here. Extra money. Emily and I want to help out best way we can. So, how are you and Allison doing? Allison and I plan to stay here until John's will's been read. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in Andrew's room, Andrew's still in a coma while Joseph and Patrick are talking. You and Olivia? Congratulations, man. I really hope it works out. Yeah. Given the fact that Carl's gonna be on our lives since she and her ex-husband share a son together, and you okay with that? I'm gonna have to be okay. Besides, I love Olivia too much to give her up now. Janet came out today. What does she want? She wanted to be there for me, but too much has happened. I can't trust her after what she's done to my family. You think she's working for the Collins? I wouldn't be surprised if she was looking for them. Meanwhile, at the Good Charm Manor in Richard's room, Casey and Richard are talking. One thing's for certain. I'm not gonna let her come between us, and she's not. And as Casey's iPhone beat, and she went and got her iPhone and saw the text. And Richard said something wrong with his wife. What's wrong? And as Casey turned and faced Richard. It's the text from my mom saying that we need to be prepared in case the police ask questions. Well, and as Richard came to where Casey is, we have nothing to worry about. Besides, we have nothing to do with it. We're the only ones that know that's not true, and it has to stay like that. I got a surprise for you. Really? And what would that be? How do you feel about a second honeymoon? Just the two of us. I can have your mother watch our daughter when we go. Sounds like you got this whole thing planned out. I do. So what do you say? You want to get away from town for a while? Meanwhile, at the Preston Rich Manor in the living room, Paul and Chad are talking. Won't they get suspicious to why you hanging out with them? Of course not. Besides, they don't really know who I am. You know, that could actually work if you play your cards right. Oh, I intend to. Intend to work. And then Stephanie came in the room and went and poured herself a cup of brandy. I'm going to invert myself into their lives so I can find out who killed my parents and make them pay. And as Stephanie came to where Paul is. And who are you gonna invert? Well, seeing that John died puts most of his children on my list, like Isabella, Adam, Ryan, or maybe even Chris. What about Julie and Jack? They weren't here at the time, which lead the people I said on the list. Well, if you ask me, I see Isabella's high on the suspect list, given to what happened. Meanwhile, on the Los Angeles pier, Leo, Janet, and Linda are talking. What's that? You remember our last conversation about you getting back together with Joseph? Yeah. How's that status doing? He made it quite clear he want nothing to do with me. You need to find a way to get back in his good grace. It's not gonna be easy. He told me to stay from his family. Look, he's just lashing out, trust me. He needs you more than ever wrong. In fact, he's trying to file a restraining order against me if I don't stay away from him and his family. What do you want me to do? Do what you have to do to take care of Joseph. Second thought, Janet, I have another job for you. I want you to come between Stephanie and Paul. Not now, later. I want you to come between Kevin and Tamara. Meanwhile, outside the LAPD station in downtown Los Angeles in the parking lot in Jordan's car, Jordan and Susan are talking. You may need a backup plan. I just saw Joseph and Janet talk, and I think they're already broken up. Damn it. I have come too far to let my plan end in vain. Oh, it won't. Joseph will be dealt with, I assure you. As we speak, Linda's filling in on a new recruitment. It is still good to have a backup plan. It's good to know that Karen and Mildred can't use their resources to get them out. I like that a lot. Meanwhile, in the holding cell, Taya, the real Karen and Mildred are talking to Claire, who's outside her cell and they're not. All I know is, two people that look like you is filing charges for impersonation. How can that be since we're the real ones? What exactly did these people say? I'm not liberty to say right now, of course not. As for you, Taya, this does not make it easy for you seeing that you're still charged with attempted murder. She didn't try to kill Vanessa. I'm sorry, but the witness evidence says otherwise. Claire, I'm telling you, the three of us been set up. Really? By who? The Collins, of course. That's really gonna be impossible, seeing that Frankie and Mimi just been murdered. You wouldn't know anything about that now, would you? What about Linda and Wayne? I'm talking about the here and now. We're more focused on the murder of Frankie and Mimi. Now would be the time to confess if you have anything to do with this. Meanwhile, at the Bayside Diner in the hallway, Eddie and Jennifer are talking. You know what? Why not? Seriously? Yeah. I guess it's time to take a chance. Who knows? Maybe you and I might work out. I know we will, so we're about after work. Sounds like a plan to me. Well, alright. I just got a few more tables left and I'll be ready when I get out. Eddie, seriously, you're the best person I ever met. Same goes to you. Excuse me. And as Eddie turned and walked away, just as Jennifer finished writing her schedule. Finally, I could use distraction to get my mind off Julian, and Eddie could be the perfect person. Meanwhile, a few steps from them, Katie and Jan are talking. I guess I kinda got lost. Really, Katie? You know this area is for employees only. I'm sorry, it's fine. We don't let customers come back here. It could be very chaotic. I understand. And as Jan and Katie head back to the front. Meanwhile, in the front dining area in Jesse's booth, Jesse and Emily are talking. Okay, I'm sorry for snapping you. It's just, I got a lot in my mind. I understand. John's death really took a toll on a lot of people. Thing is, I'm choosing to trust Kyle despite him going on business trip. I'm pretty sure it's about the company. Of course. Look, I gotta go. Jesse, just tell your wife Lauren to let it go. Please focus on fixing your marriage. I will. Take care. And as Jesse got up and went and walked away, just as Kyle and Jared came to where Emily is, and she saw him. I can't help but overhear this conversation. When Lauren and Jesse gonna back the hell off? Why they interfering anyway? I'm guessing I need some distraction. Not to worry. I told them to focus on their own marriage. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in Andrew's room, Andrew's still lying in a coma while Joseph and Patrick are talking. Did you hear what happened? Frankie and Mimi being murdered? I gotta say, I'm glad those sons of bitches finally got their deserve. I agree. I can't believe I'm related to them. Aren't they your grandparents on your father's side? Yeah. So did you ask your mom? Yeah, I did. And she was very defensive about it. I just don't get it. Is she trying to get rid of you? I don't know. But I intend to find out. Speaking of which, I really don't know where my mother is. I tried calling and texting her. Yeah, that is strange, dude. You would think she'll be by her husband's side. I'm gonna be watching her like a hawk. Meanwhile, at the Good Sean Manor in Richard's room, Casey and Richard are talking. So where are you taking us? How about Sydney? Australia, really? Yeah, I think now's the perfect time to go. Actually, it is. Plus, I got tickets to the Opera House. Also, there'll be another surprise waiting for us. Is the private jet ready? You wanna leave now? No, I wanna leave yesterday. I'll call my mom and she can watch our daughter when we're done. Okay, before we go, why don't I give you a little preview of what's to come? Preview? Yes, like this. And as they begin kissing each other. Meanwhile, at the Preston Rich Manor in the living room, Stephanie, Paul, and Chad are talking. Doesn't she work at the diner? Yeah. Perhaps she could work there. Okay. Then there's Adam. You didn't hear the news? What news? Adam just left town. Kinda convenient, in fact. I might just be friends with Rita. No, too suspicious. Oh, I have other ways to get what I want. Meanwhile, on the Los Angeles pier, Leo, Janet, and Linda are talking. Jen and Tamara, seriously, they're the most boring couple on the planet, which makes your job a whole lot easier. Therefore, you better not fail. Very well. Leo will take you there, and when he does, he can do his thing. Report to me on its status on your phone. Very well. And as Leo and Janet turn and walk away, well, Linda got her iPhone out, and is she thinking, so, Cassie, you think you can play Frankie mean like a fool? Too bad I won't let you get away. In fact, we'll see. Besides, we have more players. Some of these fools don't even know, but it's fun to watch, especially when the Collins about to reign supreme. Meanwhile, outside the LAPD station in downtown Los Angeles in the parking lot in Jordan's car, Jordan and Susan are talking. Now, to deal with that nosy friend of mine, she's already been tried for attempted murder. We need to push up her trial date. How are we going to do that? I think it's time we put our newfound money to use in wiping out those fools. I couldn't agree more. Then we can concentrate on bigger matters. Let's deal with Taya first, so our counterparts will stay where they are. What about your children? The media has no idea, and it's gonna stay like that. Besides, I don't need my fake family trying to interfere. What about the other two clones? Well, nobody has any idea to where they are. Meanwhile, in the holding cell, Taya, the Will, Karen, and Mildred are talking to Claire. Claire, we have been in the dark all this time. Yeah, we don't even know what's going on here. That may be, but I'm not certain about some of your family, seeing they're high on the suspect list. What about our situation? There will be an arraignment tomorrow. What, you heard me correctly. Meaning there's not going to be an arraignment till tomorrow. Be glad it's not Friday, because if it was, you would have to wait till Monday. Really? You don't know who we are? Actually, I know exactly who you two are. People supposed these individuals who's going to be sitting tight to tomorrow because it's going to be a long night. Please excuse me. And as Karen turned and walk away. And as Karen turned and faced Taya and Mildred. Unbelievable. You know, something doesn't seem right about this at all. You may be right. Meanwhile, Claire came into the storage room, and as she closed the door, and went to the corner area, and as she thinking, those fools have no idea to who I am. And as she slowly began to pull her disguise, revealing to be Cassie.